The Thousand Year Blood War arc was for a long time considered the final arc of the story, the one where most of Bleach's secrets would finally be revealed, and where we witness battles that showcase the true strength of characters who've long waited to see in action. But as anyone who read the manga knows, that's not exactly what happened. Many characters were completely neglected, left without any chance to display their full power, only for manga to end up with those characters fading into obscurity. And thankfully guys, with the return of the anime, Kubo and the team tried to fix this problem. One of the best examples of their effort is the fight of Squad Zero versus Elite Guard. This battle was completely rewritten, giving more screen time and focus to Squad Zero's members, and we got to see new fights, including Sejimano's Bankai, which made it its first appearance in the story. Of course, there's still a fourth core left, and it's very likely we'll see the same treatment, especially since half of its content will be brand new. That's why guys, in this video, we'll explore 5 characters whose full powers we never got to see before the manga ended. And we can start with Tesai. What can I even say about this mysterious and powerful character? Starting with his strange relationship with Urahara Kisuke and Irichi, cause he once told Urahara that he's known him for a long time and they spent time together in Irichi's mansion, and this detail may have a major significance, especially if Kubo includes Tesai in Kisuke's flashback in the final core and explains their deep connection. Another important point is Tesai's position in the Soul Society. He was the captain of Kido Squad. And the Kido Squad, while separate from the Goty 13, is still a major division with its own official and ranks. And captain of Kido Squad doesn't usually show up unless something serious is going on. And this was made clear when Yamamoto summoned Tesai. And Tesai wasn't made captain for nothing. In fact, in the battle against Ishin, he is the only character in the entire story who used forbidden Kido techniques, including space-time manipulation to move the visors and Kisuke, and that act was so dangerous it almost got him imprisoned. Not to mention he was the first character in the story to use Bakudo 99 during Ichigo's training. And honestly guys, these were probably the last major things we saw from Tesai. And if we think deeper guys, Tesai going to the human world with Urahara Kisuke greatly limited his appearances. He was mostly sidelined into supporting roles. We know that even in the Soul Society, his appearances were rare, but his role was crucial back then, especially since he was the head captain of the Kido Squad. And you would think that after leaving the Soul Society, Tesai would have more freedom to act, but I think that didn't happen. It seems to me that Tesai have become under Urahara's directions. Tesai's role has been reduced to healing and background support using Kido, and his last actual appearance was in chapter 474 when Urahara Kisuke asks him to take care of Chad and Ori, and since then Tesai was completely absent, not just during Aizen's fight but also in the final arc. His vice captain Hachigen at least had a fight against Baragan, and also made some appearances in the Quincy arc which might increase in the 4th core. But Tesai, nothing. And that's the sad part guys. I really hoped he would at least show up in one battle using high level kill techniques we never seen before. So my only hope guys now is to see him appear in Urahara's flashback if Kubo decides to include it in the 4th core. With Ryuken, I understand why he was absent from most of the previous arcs. Given his personality and the logic he follows, it all made sense. He's Quincy, and the previous arcs were mostly about Shinigami versus Shinigami or Shinigami versus Hollows, and things that didn't really concern him, And even the cold personality Ryuken presented reinforced that idea that he didn't care much about the Quincy's anymore. However guys, that slowly started to change when he revealed to his son Uryu that he still considered himself Quincy, the last one. And he still had all his skills and he has all the secrets that passed down from his father Sokin. And this came to a head when it was revealed that the final arc is all about the Quincy's and that Oryu would be a major central figure. So naturally Ryuken should have a more significant role, but unfortunately that never happened. All we got was a glimpse of his past, what he was like as a young man, his relationship with Masaki and how he met Isshin. We also saw how he brought Soken's idea to life by crafting that silver arrow that ultimately allowed Oryu to stop all of Yuabach's powers. So it was honestly disappointing that we never got to see Ryuken in an actual fight where the spotlight was on him. However guys, there's still one final chance, the fourth core, so I truly hope he gets a moment to shine in battle. And we're not straying far from Ryuken because now we're talking about Isshin Shiba. Ishin also had a special place in the story. He is the father of the protagonist, a Shinigami, a former captain in Gote 13, and a member of one of the great noble families. All of that combines to give Isshin an incredibly deep and mysterious backstory. Unlike Ryuken though, Kubo did show us some of Isshin's strength. His first appearance versus the Grand Fisher, his fight against Ishin in the Arankara arc, and his battle with White, where he was only using 20% of his power. But I think that wasn't enough. The final arc had events where Isshin should have fought, especially since Yuabach was the one responsible for Masaki's death, his wife. And also we never saw Isshin's Bankai. So like Ryuken, his role was mostly limited to the flashback and giving Oryu the arrow. That's why guys, like Ryuken, I hope we can see a scenario when they fought together against Yuabach before the final battle. Now guys, we have Okitake Chojiro. I really felt sad for him, especially how poorly he was treated in the manga. The twist that he had the Soul King's right hand inside him was great, but having him sacrifice himself so suddenly just to buy a few moments for the words, only for Yuabach to absorb Mimihagi and get even stronger, it made Okitake's sacrifice feel pointless, especially since we never got to see a single proper fight from Okitake where he used his Bankai. That's why guys, I really wished Kubo had written a different scenario where Mimihagi's power was used in actual fight without Okitake's illness. That way, we got to see his true strength and Bankai before he died. But it seems that now, with the anime, Kubo is trying to rewrite things to give more value to Okitake's sacrifice. But at the end of the day, guys, Okitake remains one of the strongest characters whose true power we never got to see, unlike most of the other Shinigamis. And finally, we have Ichigo. Ichigo can be considered one of the biggest disappointments in the final arc of the manga. Finally, all of Ichigo's powers were revealed, which made everyone excited to see the full extent of his power against the new enemies. But what happened was that Ichigo didn't get enough battles to truly showcase his powers, and that situation continued all the way until the manga ended, without seeing the true power of his Bankai, which Yuabach ended up breaking. And as a result guys, for years the discussions have always revolved around the nature of Ichigo's true Bankai and what his real strength actually is. And those questions could have remained without answer forever. But now, lucky us, there are a real chance to change all of that thanks to the fourth core, which will cover the events of the final battle. And if there are going to be a major changes in that part, then one of the most anticipated of them would definitely be a fight for Ichigo, where he finally unleashes his Bankai. And then guys, out of the 5 characters that I mentioned in this video, I would say the ones most likely to have their powers shown in the final part are Ichigo, Ishin, and Ryuken. As for Tesai, it seems Kubo has completely forgotten about him, and I don't think he will have a role at all. Regarding Okitake, his story is now tied to the sacrifice he made for the Soul King. So guys, what do you think about these 5 characters? Do you have other ones that I didn't mention in this video? Tell me guys your opinions in the comments and see you in my next video.